Good morning, everybody. Happy Wednesday. Crystal, what's on the show today?
Such a good show today. We've got an interview with Tulsi Gabbard from Iowa. We have the CEO of the TVA to tell us about the future of energy. And you and I have some thoughts on some things, including Yang's rise and Biden on Medicare for all. All that and more today on Rising. All right, Saagar, what's on your radar?
Well, yesterday, Crystal and I talked about the New York Times slamming of Andrew Yang. For those of you who didn't see it, the Times basically accused Andrew of betraying the Asian American community because he refused to push for the professional and personal cancellation of comedian Shane Gillis. Gillis said terrible things about Andrew and other Asian Americans, and now he has been fired by SNL. Yang tweeted before Gillis' firing, he did not at all think that Gillis should lose his job. And he did something that very few people in the Democratic Party or the media have urged in recent years. He urged forgiveness and understanding. After Gillis' firing, he said he would meet with Gillis at his request, who presumably wanted to apologize. How is it that a New York businessman spouting some pretty radical ideas is far and above all of his colleagues in the most important realm that matters for a presidential candidate, humanity? Andrew Yang's instinct to forgive Shane Gillis and work towards understanding and penance is the only way America can survive the 21st century. I say this as someone who has also been a victim of anti-Asian racism. We are a multi-ethnic, multi-racial, multi-religious society of varying ages, geography, and experience. It is a goddamn miracle that any of us exist within the same polity at the same time. The only way our democracy can function is through as a mutual desire to move forward, build things, break things, and rule through consensus. So much of elite democratic politics today is predicated on the idea that every single person who voted for Donald Trump is racist, bigoted, homophobe, who barely deserves citizenship of this country. We've seen periods in our history where we operate that way before. It ends bloody and it well for pretty much nobody. Perhaps that is why Andrew is currently polling above Senator Kamala Harris in her own home state of California in the latest Emerson poll of the state. The Democratic presidential race is basically a three-way tie. You have Elizabeth Warren for the college-educated, Bernie Sanders for the progressive working class and young people, and Joe Biden for, well, everybody else. That doesn't leave much space for a Biden-light or a Bernie-light candidate that are on the rest of the stage. The relentless positivity of Andrew Yang is something I want to go out of my way to highlight because it seems just so lost from our politics today. If you accept the liberal premise that society is truly irredeemable and that all of us are walking around that are microaggressed and misunderstood, then shunning and screaming at those who are harming you is the opposite of what we should be doing. Instead of poll-tested sound bites and grievance politics, Andrew Yang is trying something new and original. Look, I have a hell of a lot of questions about UBI, and full disclosure, I don't think it's going to work that well. But the man is onto something. I think it has a lot less to do with UBI, and instead a recognition of the rapidly changing pace of American life and what that might mean for all of us. How refreshing to see a presidential candidate actually talking about these issues without indulging in so many of these woke shibboleths that we see from Elizabeth Warren and even from Bernie Sanders from time to time. And Crystal, I just wanted to take the time to highlight Yang and his want of forgiveness and of his positivity, because it just seems so lost from our politics today. And I think that's why so many people are excited about it.
Yeah, and it comes from a very authentic place. I mean, one of the things that stands out about him when he's on the debate stage with all the other candidates is he's got a sense of humor.
Yeah.
You know, he doesn't take himself too seriously, and I think that's incredibly refreshing. You hit on something that is one of my core frustrations with a certain portion of the Democratic Party, which, as you know, I've done a lot of work in West Virginia. I've lived in Kentucky, and whenever I post something about what people are going through there, which are, you know, these are states that have many races represented, but they're predominantly white states, right? And whenever I post something about struggles for workers there, I inevitably get back basically, screw those people, they voted for Trump. Yeah. Who cares? And I did not personally sign up to be part of a party that picks and chooses which people are worthy of support, are worthy of friendship, are worthy of being allies. And I did not sign up for a party to pick and choose which part of the working class they were going to fight for. So it's one of, to me, the most troubling and disturbing trends in the Democratic Party, that direction that some parts have gone in.
Absolutely.